from the ashes to school the masses. Hello everyone, welcome to another edition of the Scholars of Wrestling Show. I'm your man behind the microphone, Scholar Jeff. To my left this week is Scholar Brian. What's up, sir?
Hello! Summer has been slammed, but was it effective?
It was not very effective, if we're talking in Pokemon terms. But we'll get to that. Well, it was effective in one way, but we'll break it down in utter detail. As you might be aware, our third scholar, Scholar Tarek, is away on assignment off in London, England.
Why is he there? We threw him over there.
Yes.
We don't really know why. We just put him in a parachute.
Yes, I threw him across the ocean as a result of this week's pay-per-view.
Yeah,
so
remember...
You'll find out why.
Remember when what we were talking about last week? Oh, there it is. Yeah, that's Tarek flying across the sky into Paris, France.
He crashed in the Eiffel Tower. Hopefully he'll make a speedy recovery soon. In the meantime, he left the rest of us here to deal with the rest of this show. So let's break it down. This is the results from WWE Summerslam 2017. Kicking things off on the pre-show with The Miz and The Miz Taraj defeating the Hardys and Jason Jordan. Can I speak for everyone when I say I don't think anyone saw this coming?
Well, first of all, let's break down the mistake that this match made right off the bat. Okay, they played it, they put it on the card and had them start at 5:30. They had barely started letting people into the arena yet.
Yeah, I thought they would have learned their lesson after, 2 WrestleManias ago?
Exactly. When what was it, Ryback and Kalisto?
Yes, I do remember.
Did the match in front of like 10 people. Well, guess what? You did it to the Hardy Boys this time. What are you, new?
This was just a wreck. I didn't even see this match, to be perfectly honest with you.
Let me say this. Okay. The match itself was nothing special. It wasn't bad. It wasn't that good either. But, okay, first of all, the finish kind of came out of nowhere, as 6-man tag matches normally do. Okay, and let's just say that things are not looking good for Jason Jordan right now.
No, it seems like the one thing a lot of us were concerned about is indeed coming to pass. After the whole Kurt Angle reveal, nothing's really happening with the guy.
Yeah, and first pay-per-view, whether it's on the kickoff show or not, if you're taking the pin in a 6-man tag, okay, something has gone horribly wrong for your future.
Yeesh.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I cannot help but feel really bad for Jason Jordan right now.
Yeah. So it's like you have the Hardy Boys and you have the Miz in a pre-show match at 5:30 with 50 people in the building. The Miz looks legitimately pissed the entire time.
Yeah, and I cannot blame him.
And the Hardy Boys are trying to do their spots, doing the whole, trying to get the crowd into it. Kind of hard with 50 people. Then again, they used to work for Impact Wrestling, so...
There you go. One would assume they'd be used to it.
One would assume that they would be used to it, so they kept going. But you can tell when wrestlers are pissed off. Okay, and The Miz could not hold it back. So, not a good spot for this match. Thrown together match sounds like a thrown together match, turns into a thrown together match, and it acts like a thrown together match. So nobody cares. Basically.
Still, at least the one thing that consoles me is that knowing that all of the talent that's in this match alone, this will keep it makes me confident that everyone will be just fine. But please, WWE, don't do this again. In the meantime, we're moving on to, speaking of please don't do this again, we've got Neville defeating Akira Tozawa, beating him for the Cruiserweight Championship already.
Which...
What on earth happened here?
Basically, okay, first of all, the match was fine. It was good. They weren't going as hard as they normally would, but hey, you're on the pre-show. That's gonna happen. Okay, the question here that's on everybody's mind. Okay, Neville was in the middle of a fantastic 8-month title reign. Everybody was on board. Everybody was having a great time with it. Nobody was complaining about Neville as the Cruiserweight Champion. Until now. Okay, why would you take it off of him on a Raw only to have him win it back 6 days later?
I believe, you know what? I believe I might actually have an explanation for this. Fair enough. To be fair, you may not like where it's going, but I've got a possible explanation for it, and that is, I think that there's an outside chance that they're going to give the strap to Enzo. Now that he's on 205 Live, I think there's an outside chance they can give it to probably the biggest draw in the division right now by default.
I mean, it makes sense for the money, you know. We got Enzo Amore brings in a lot of sales. Whatever, it would make sense to have him be the champion of his brand. I still can't get the fact that, in my eyes, Enzo Amore should be a manager, should be a fast talking manager, but Vince McMahon hates everything to do with managers unless they're Paul Heyman. So
and even then, Paul Heyman had to talk his way out of the doghouse in order to make that happen. So
exactly. So still, the booking makes no sense here.
Yeah.
If you're just gonna give the title right back to Neville, why not just wait to have the first title match on the pre-show at the pay-per-view and have Neville retain?
Because really this entire thing just reeks of, oops, we changed our mind.
Which is WWE syndrome at this point.
Pretty much, yeah. And it sucks.
And it seems like that's gonna be a story, an ongoing tale throughout the night.
Oh dear. Now let's get back into the rest of the evening with an actual good match for once.
Hold on. First of all, okay.
You got something else?
The segment with Elias Sampson in between this was quite possibly the greatest troll job I've ever seen. Okay, he trolled Jay-Z and Biggie. He bought up Biggie Smalls in Brooklyn.
Oh dear.
And as soon as that happened, like the crowd was grooving to him, and all of a sudden he did the unthinkable sin. and they were like, okay, we'll roll with Jay-Z snark, but Biggie, oh, you crossed the line there, buddy.
Well, I was gonna say, what do you expect from a white guy with an acoustic guitar?
Yeah, but really, that was the first time during the night, at least during the pre-show, where I was like, oh, this is cool. I'll walk with Elias. Why not? Man's got balls of steel. That's what he's got.
I said this on Sunday, and I'm going to say it again here. I can't believe Elias is getting over like he is now, especially after his NXT run. But hey, just goes to show you never can tell.
Yeah, it just needs the right gimmick. That's all.
Speaking of never being able to tell, we got the Usos defeating the New Day to take back the SmackDown Tag Titles.
Yeah.
I didn't see this one coming either.
Not at all. But I will say this. For a good 3 hours, This was my match of the night.
Yeah, what?
And it was on the
what does that say about the rest of the show?
And as I said on Twitter, it was like your potential match of the night was on the pre-show.
Why?
So, and Big Cass versus Big Show with Enzo Amore in the shark cage was on the main card.
Oh, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, here come the Usos and the New Day delivering.
These guys, this was close to a 5-star match on the damn pre-show. That's it.
I know, and this was really the match, despite some of the weird booking decisions, even that we've just seen on the pre-show alone. This was the match that really instilled me a lot of hype, really got my hopes up, and just really showed to me how good everyone really is here.
Yeah, SummerSlam was a showcase of how tag team wrestling can be done correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This was only the first sign of it. Okay, and these two teams have worked well with each other for the last couple months. Alright, their match at Battleground was the match of the night.
Mm-hmm. So
we went in expecting good things. And for me, my expectations were met and exceeded. Okay, this was fantastic. Like, I was on the edge of my seat for a pre-show match. What the hell?
I haven't been at the edge of my seat for a pre-show match since the WLC.
Yes, and I was there. Damn it!
And I'm not even trolling for that one.
that was awesome.
Oh,
I think back to that night. The first match I've ever seen live was a WLC match.
Welcome to the wacky world of wrestling, folks.
And it was amazing. And so was this. Do I agree with the booking decision? Up in the air for now. Yeah. I mean, like it goes either way because both of these teams deserve it. The New Day needed fresh scenery and fresh opponents. That's what they needed. That's what they got. They're back in my good books now.
Mm-hmm.
So looking forward to more. Okay, because we're probably gonna get more. New Day gets their rematch, of course.
Hey, that's fine by me.
So give us a best of 3. Yeah, hell, give us a best of 7. Give us more. That's all I need.
Hey, I think they do know when they got a good thing going, so hopefully we will see more. At least in terms of match quality like this. Oof. But anyway, we're finally done with the pre-show. Now let's move on to the main card where we kick things off.
Burial Mania! That's what we're kicking it off with.
John Cena, epic burial time of Baron Corbin.
What did I say was going to happen?
Epic beatdown?
No. I said that Baron Corbin was going to dominate about 10 minutes of the match. John Cena's going to hit one attitude adjustment and it's going to be over. What happened?
Pretty much exactly that.
Yep. Just further burying Baron Corbin because he doesn't know how to shut his mouth on social media.
Yeah, granted, I was never the biggest fan of Baron Corbin, but I have to seriously question: did he really deserve this?
If you're trying to build new stars, WWE, tonight was a horrible example of how to go about doing it. Okay. This was just the start of the bad booking decisions for the night.
Oh,
Did we see it coming for this one specifically? Yes. We all did.
I did, yes.
As soon as Baron Corbin lost his Money in the Bank briefcase, we were like, oh, he's in the doghouse. Cena's gonna screw his day up at SummerSlam. And I don't know if the WWE thinks that getting 10 minutes of offense with no just 10 minutes of straight offense, just beating the crap out of Cena, means that taking one AA is not gonna hurt you. I mean, is not gonna hurt you in the long run. Like, it's not a burial because you got that 10 minutes of offense. But no, okay, if you're not getting buried, you kick out of that first day. You kick out of that first attitude adjustment, because that's how it works in the WWE now. If you're a top guy, if they think that you're a top guy, you kick out of an AA. And going back, these guys have had another match where John Cena beat him with one attitude adjustment. This just shows that Baron Corbin is nothing to the WWE anymore.
At least he's in the doghouse, and he desperately needs to crawl himself back out.
And I don't know if he's going to be able to do it, because when John Cena buries you twice, okay.
And you know what? The key is not can you do it, it's can you make me care about you.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm resoundingly lukewarm about Baron Corbin now. I wish that wasn't the case.
I cared, okay, when he won Money in the Bank. I was happy about it. Okay, because I was like, oh, they're building new people, and Baron Corbin's been performing pretty well at that point. Up until then, he had like a year of good performances, and then just this last week, I'm like, dude, you're a laughing stock now. I'm sorry.
It's bad. It's bad.
I mean, first of all, you lose your Money in the Bank. I don't care if John Cena cost you. Okay, you lost your Money in the Bank title opportunity to Jinder Mahal. Okay, that's it.
Oh, we'll talk about him.
And that's the first thing. And then this happens. Sayonara, take the shovel, bury it in deeper, say goodbye to your career, Baron Corbin. Special guest referee in a United States title match isn't gonna get you anywhere in my book.
Oh boy. Anyway, moving on, continuing on the silly booking freight train, even though this one personally to me wasn't quite so bad. Natalya defeated Naomi to become the new SmackDown Women's Champion. This to me honestly felt like a Lifetime Achievement Award. She certainly deserved it after busting her butt on the roster for so long. I thought she deserved it.
Yeah, I do think she deserves it. I don't know about the timing, because as we said last week, they were coming out with the Glow Belt as a toy. So what sense does that make now? Because you know that Natalya's going to change that title belt. You know that it's going to happen at some point. So, but yeah, this was actually pretty good. I enjoyed this. They told a story with it. Naomi sold her knee well, sold her leg, and Natalya attacked it. Simple matchmaking. They performed to the best of their abilities at that time. So I didn't hate. I actually sat through a women's match and didn't hate myself. So and it's been a while since I could say that.
Hey, it is possible. It is possible. But yeah, congratulations, Natalya. You deserve it. Now go on and play with your cats.
Yeah, and
that's not even an insult. I like cats.
Yes, and this thing with Carmella, we'll see.
I honestly hope they go for like a slow burn with this. Just when people are starting to zone her out, that's when she strikes and something crazy happens. But hey, lots of narrative potential there. We'll see how it goes. In the meantime, we get the exciting showdown of Big Cass beating the Big Show in an Enzo in a cage on a pole match.
This was the drizzling shits. This was horrible. Okay, I'm sorry to Big Cass that you're out for 9 months.
I'm not.
Because I'm not gonna be that dick. I'm not gonna be the. I don't wish injury upon anyone. Okay,
I'm not wishing injury upon him.
said,
I'm just seeing the narrative potential of writing Big Cass off TV while he's taking care of this injury, and especially during a match with his hated rival Enzo Amore.
Yeah, but as for this match, okay, it didn't need to be here. I get that you want to give Big Cass a singles match on a big pay-per-view to prove himself, okay, but holy shit, man.
This was dull.
This was boring. Sorry, Cass. I mean, you had potential there for a minute. Okay, when you were just throwing people around, as any big guy should. Okay, but you can't go up against the big Cass and the Big Show. Big Show can't move around like he used to. Okay, and the storyline with the broken hand, I don't care. And the crowd didn't care. Okay, Enzo Amore is in the ring, and whether you like him or not, the crowd normally gives a shit. This is Brooklyn. The Brooklyn crowd normally gives a shit about Enzo Amore, but they were silent because this match sucked ass.
Yeah, and even just the end where Enzo oiled himself up and climbed through the cage.
It was funny, and then you realize that what's he gonna do? By the time he gets down, okay, Cass has been staring at him for like a minute. Okay, that whole thing was pointless, all of it. Okay, yeah, he gets down, immediately takes a big boot. Okay, well that was stupid. Okay,
nice try. Thanks for playing.
And the Empire Elbow is a finisher. Nah.
Yeah, it didn't really do much for me anyway. But hey, it gets better.
Does it?
Because apparently John Cena was talking to Randy Orton backstage, and John Cena was like, "Oh, hey, I'm the best barrier in WWE."
And Randy Orton said, "Hold my beer."
Thank you. Yeah, what was like this? 30 seconds. Randy Orton defeated Rusev.
It goes back to the same thing. Okay, you think Rusev is gonna? It's not gonna hurt Rusev any because he came out and beat the shit out of him before the match? No, he took one move. Okay, what? Now, admittedly, that was the best RKO I've seen in a long time. Spiked his face.
But even so,
and that would be and yes, that would be a 3 count to any man because that was a legit RKO, drive your face into the mat. That almost never happens. So yeah, probably got knocked out. But
oh boy,
but
poor Rusev.
Yeah, Rusev might be deader than Corbin at this point.
Which is a real shame, because I legitimately like Rusev.
Yes.
You just need to come up with something to do with the poor guy.
Rusev crush underground because he can't get out from the grave that Randy Orton buried him in.
Oh boy. Please, for the sake of all of us here at the Scholars of Wrestling Show, give us something fun to watch with Rusev. We want to like the guy, but help us out here, please.
We want to like the guy, but after SummerSlam, he might be the biggest joke on the roster right now. And that's saying something because we've got Enzo Amore on the roster.
But hey, how about a palate cleanser right here? Speaking of people I want to like, Sasha Banks defeated Alexa Bliss for the Raw Women's Championship. I did not see this coming, but the end result, not altogether bad.
It wasn't too bad, but the crowd wasn't really into it because of the 2 matches that they had just sat through, if you want to call them matches. So the Brooklyn crowd was pretty silent at this point of the pay-per-view. So and silence does affect match quality. Okay. So yeah. While the match itself was alright, but I found myself getting a little bored during the Alexa Bliss control segments of the match. I found myself getting a little bored, and as I've said, as much as people might like Sasha Banks, my co-host included.
Yeah, to be fair, I do like them both.
Yeah, I've had enough of her in the title picture. But if it gets to the point, if we're finally getting that Sasha Banks heel turn, especially with the way she's been snubbing fans recently, if this is the catalyst for that, fine. See where it goes.
Which I'm honestly hoping that that's indeed the case. So we'll see where it all goes.
But yeah, not knowing what's going forward, just another weird booking decision for the night.
Mm-hmm.
Really.
But now, at least now, we finally get something relatively safe, predictable, and fun. The Demon King Finn Balor defeated Bray Wyatt in a battle of I'm spooky. No, I'm spooky. I'm scarier than you. No, I'm scarier than you. And Finn Balor wins. The match itself was good. I liked it. But there was no drama involved. Because everybody knew that Finn Balor was good. As soon as the Demon came out, come on, man. As soon as the Demon comes out, you know who's going to win. Because it's the Demon. Okay? They're going to treat the Demon like the Undertaker. Like the Undertaker at WrestleMania when he was unbeatable. Okay? Anytime the Demon comes out, you can almost guarantee a Finn Balor victory. I'm calling it right now. That's where they're going to go with this. And also, Bray Wyatt won on Raw. So, yeah, while the match is good, when there's no drama involved and you know exactly what's going to happen, okay, it affects my enjoyment of the match. Mm-hmm.
So while it was good, there was nothing to this. Really.
It was a very paint-by-numbers match, which after the craziness of the rest of the match, of the rest of the night rather, I actually found myself kind of craving something like this.
But
like, I got exactly what I anticipated. I was not totally disappointed.
And the whole thing, I was expecting a little more. I mean,
really?
like, it's the Eater of Worlds versus the Demon. And you're going to give me a normal one-on-one singles match. No frills. Yeah, the entrance was great. When is it not? But other than that, it was just a normal one-on-one match. And Finn Balor was pretty much kicking Bray Wyatt's ass most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, well, my expectations were pretty high, admittedly, because it's Bray Wyatt and it's Finn Balor. I expect a lot out of them, and they didn't hit what I wanted.
Fair enough. That part I can definitely see, even though I still enjoyed the match.
Yeah, it's still enjoyable, but it was a good match. It's not like I'm sitting here, it's boring, get it out. But
I'm sorry, what were you like?
It's boring, get it out.
Okay, thanks for clearing that up.
But it's also perfectly acceptable. Other than that, but for a Bray Wyatt Finn Balor match, perfectly acceptable is below par.
Fair enough. Anyway, moving on to what I consider to be more of the good stuff again. We've got Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins defeating Sheamus and Cesaro for the Raw Tag Team titles. We got new champs.
Yeah. This is another one where, yeah, you pretty much knew who was going to win the whole time. You knew it was going to be Ambrose and Rollins, but there was some drama involved because it's Cesaro and Sheamus, okay, and there were some pretty gnarly near falls. Like there were times where I was like, "Holy shit! Are they actually gonna Cesaro and Sheamus actually gonna beat him clean? What is this about?" And this was the night of tag team wrestling.
I will
Basically,
give it that, yes.
The matches of the night, other than up to this point, the only matches that I enjoyed completely were the tag team matches. Because these guys know how to tag team.
They tag team real good.
They tag team real good. Okay? We knew that Ambrose and Rollins could do it. Okay, from back in the day. We've seen that Cesaro and Sheamus can do it over their run over the past year. Since it's been about a year now. Wasn't their last best of 7 match at last year's SummerSlam?
You know what? I think you're actually right.
Yeah. So, and as Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins bring out the best in one another, as we said.
Yeah, these two definitely have great, fantastic chemistry together.
Yeah,
there's
and
no denying that.
That's the best wrestling match out of both these guys. I'd say I might go of the year. I might go because, as I've said, they've been treading water the entire year. Basically. So, this was really good. This was really good, and it was the start of a good stretch for SummerSlam.
Speaking of continuing that good stretch, next up we had AJ Styles defeating Kevin Owens in a singles match with Shane O'Mac as the special guest referee match.
Yeah,
AJ Styles wins.
Yeah, as you would expect. Okay, the actual match itself is great. Okay, the two guys. The problem I have with this is the problem I have with any special guest referee match.
That being?
The match isn't about the wrestlers. It's
True
about
enough.
the special guest referee. Okay. And the problem I have is Shane McMahon, okay, takes some of the nastiest bumps of all time, gets up, and continues on. Okay, how many times did he get knocked out during this match?
I love the spot where Owens just screams at him, "You fall off of buildings!"
You fall off of buildings and you can't count to 3?
Damn it, I love you, Kevin.
Yeah, I mean, like, Kevin Owens and AJ Styles tried, man.
Yeah,
honestly, like this was enjoyable. This was okay, but there's some logic flaws in here that just made my mind go bleh during the match.
Okay, what were those logic flaws for you? Because I've got my own thing that was hanging me up.
As I said, okay, Shane McMahon. Okay, this whole thing. I like the idea of the don't put your hands on me. If you don't put your hands on me, I won't put my hands on you. And he was fair. He did it to both guys. He pushed both guys. That's cool. Okay. I just can't with the how many times he got knocked out. How many times he wasn't around the count. I'm like, this is Shane McMahon we're talking about. I don't believe it when other wrestlers get knocked out. I'm not gonna believe it when Shane McMahon does it. I believe it when actual refs get knocked out because they're small, they're tiny. They get punched in the face, they break in 2. Okay?
Yeah.
But
Shane McMahon is the money.
Shane McMahon, as Kevin Owens rightfully puts it, falls off of buildings. Okay? That's it. It makes no sense to me. Logic flaws. Okay? WWE.
I just love that they called it out. That was one of the biggest redeeming qualities of this entire match. Just the entertainment value from that alone.
That actually brought it back up to me because that was actually ruining the match for me. And then Kevin Owens is like, "You fall off of buildings," and I'm like, "Yeah, okay, I'm back in," because it was really taking me out of the match. I'm like, this dude falls off of structures, gets back up and wins matches. Okay, that's it. We've seen it. We've seen it happen over and over again. He gets punched in the face once, he's out for 2 minutes. That's it. What?
Yeah, and I'll be very honest with you, it was at this point, because the night was relatively long and polluted with very subpar matches for the most part, this was around the point where I was just sort of starting to feel burnt out. I started to lose focus on the match, and as soon as he said, "You fall off of buildings," I was like, "That okay, now I'm back invested in the match again." But even so, it's this part of this match still fell flat for me, with the whole Kevin Owens being Kevin Owens thing, just totally on the sidebar. Everything else is great,
and I don't like that this match was basically a build to a match on a minor pay-per-view. A match on a major pay-per-view shouldn't be a build-up match for a match on a minor pay-per-view, because apparently Styles and Owens are Shane and Owens are gonna wrestle at Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, this
Right.
This is another one. To me, this was another one of those prevailing themes the entire night. Where
why don't you have this match at Battleground?
SummerSlam is supposed to be about resolutions, and to me there just weren't enough resolutions, and there were far too many setups for feuds or continuations of feuds for me that just ultimately fell really flat.
Yeah, for me, if you had this match at Battleground with the guest referee, because that pay-per-view was shit anyway, guest referee would fit right in. Okay, that's it. And then you have Owens versus Shane at SummerSlam. Pa, done. Okay, instead they're gonna have Owens versus Shane in a Hell in a Cell match, and why? That's it. So Shane can jump off the top of the Hell in a Cell again like a moron?
You know that's the reason why.
Yeah, it makes no sense to me. But I'm fine with Shane wrestling in 2017. I don't like build up to matches on the second biggest pay-per-view of the year, building for a minor pay-per-view that will mean nothing in the long run.
Speaking of that,
it's time. Have yourself the floor, good sir.
Yes, Jinder Mahal beat Shinsuke Nakamura. It still stings. I am now in recovery. As soon as I saw this, I was just staring at my TV for about a good 5 solid seconds. Then I went across the room, pet my friend's cat, hoping it would help. Did not work. I went back. I sort of sat there in a slump, wondering, okay, what on earth just happened? And I just sort of sat there for the rest of the night with the slight hope that this, like we said before, this wasn't, just because this was not the payoff that we were anticipating, does not necessarily mean that this is not the start of a full-on feud. I'm hoping that's the case, and that Shinsuke will win it eventually.
I'll say this, okay? If you watched SmackDown, which you probably didn't,
I saw it.
It is not over. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
He took out all three. Okay, so there's gonna be a rematch at Hell in a Cell. That's just the way of it. It's what's gonna happen. However, this is SummerSlam.
It's a land of payoffs, or you should have payoffs.
I'm not even talking about this. This was a house show match. This was
it
the
really
effort.
was.
This was the effort put into this match. I understand Shinsuke effort in this match. Losing the Why can't this experiment be over? Okay, it's done. It's run its course. It didn't work. I know that Scholar Jeff had his hopes when this started. that this could work. Okay. The past couple months have shown that no. This was a bad plan. It was. And now, okay, possibly your most over guy on the entire roster is losing to Jinder Mahal in a glorified house show effort given match on the second biggest pay-per-view of the year in a world heavyweight title match. Okay, this was a disgrace. The only thing that made this not the worst match of the night is that we had Big Cass versus a Big Show in a shark cage match. Because I don't think anything's gonna beat that for worst match of the year. Okay, but that is the only thing that saved this match from being worst match of the night. It's certainly the most disappointing. And I can't. This is the. I try to stick up for Vince. I try. Every pay-per-view, I'm like, okay, maybe this is the one where Vince comes out of it. Vince comes out of his stupor and does good work. Okay? And then this happens. And I remind myself why he should be in the mental home. That's it.
Something is rotten as afoot in WWE.
And really, okay, so far I'm sorry, Jeff, but Nakamura's run in the WWE has been flat. It hasn't been good for now. But I mean, what, he's been up for 5 months now. He came up the night after WrestleMania, the show after.
Five months really isn't that long of a period of time.
Yeah, I understand that, but they need to do better. They have to do better, and they have to give Nakamura opponents that can actually hang with him. Jinder Mahal is not one of them.
And you know what? That fact alone makes me even more confident that come Hell in a Cell, when there's no more excuses, Shinsuke will take him out, take the strap off him, and they'll move on to better opponents.
And here's the problem. Okay, Shinsuke's gonna win the title, but the match is gonna be shit again. Because Jinder Mahal's not a good wrestler. I'm sorry. Maybe he was in the WWE in NXT, but the way that the WWE has hamstrung him, or given him specific moves and specific styles, and making him do every match is the same, and I'm sick of it, because it makes people like Nakamura and Randy Orton, they look horrible against Jinder Mahal, and those are two of the top wrestlers in the world. And they look like shit when they go against Jinder Mahal.
Yeah,
I kind of want to see AJ Styles go up against Jinder Mahal.
Just see what he can do with him.
See if Jinder Mahal brings him down to his level too.
Hey, if AJ Styles can't get a good match out of you, there's no hope for anybody.
Exactly. That's my point.
But anyway, at long last, here we are with the grand finale to SummerSlam, and oh boy, was it a monster match. We had Brock Lesnar beating Samoa Joe, Braun Strowman, and Roman Reigns to retain the Universal Championship. This one was a demolition derby, and I loved it.
This was everything I wanted from this match and more. Okay? With these four guys, if you tried to do a normal Fatal 4-Way match, okay, it wouldn't have worked. These guys needed to go out and beat the shit out of each other, and they did, and it was awesome. Okay.
Would you say it was a epic beatdown?
A 4-way epic beatdown, yes. Yes, I would.
Good.
Brock Lesnar got the shit beat out of him by Braun Strowman, and it was amazing. Braun Strowman tossing desk chairs like it's nothing at people's faces. Braun Strowman's a beast. And Braun Strowman...
He's probably the best booked character they've got on Raw right now.
Braun Strowman, okay, is the most fun I've had watching the WWE in a very long time. Okay? Whenever he comes out, I know that I'm going to have a good time. Okay? It's Raw the night after, just beating down Brock Lesnar again. Okay? And that's confirmed.
Which, again, that's
mercy.
Another upside.
So, this was my match of the night, obviously, because it's 4 big men going in, beating the shit out of each other. Roman Reigns gets pinned, which is always nice.
Yay!
I was right. I called the bluff, and I was correct.
You did.
And I'm excited to see where we go from here with the Raw title picture. And especially since the news of John Jones coming out testing positive for steroids, so that fight's not going to happen.
Oh man.
So that fight's not going to happen. So Brock Lesnar's probably going to resign again.
Or at least do some sort of extension or something.
Because I feel like he was only going to leave to go to the UFC to fight John Bones Jones. Because that was basically the only challenge he had going for him at that point. And now he tested positive for steroids for a second time and is probably going to be suspended for multiple years.
Oh, man.
So, anything that keeps Brock Lesnar on my TV is best for business in my book. And if it puts Braun Strowman versus Brock Lesnar, should be another just epic beatdown.
Yeah.
Just from both sides. There's nothing better than 2 big men legitimately beating the shit out of each other on my TV.
Who can actually make it look good.
Yeah.
Which is the real rarity as far as I'm concerned.
And when you add in the other 2, Roman Reigns and Samoa Joe, they both got in on it as well, and this was great.
Yeah.
This was
again. It's not like Samoa Joe was any slouch in his own right. Like that's like one weird phenomenon I kept running into. Like all my eyes were focused on what Braun and Brock were doing. And occasionally I would realize, oh yeah, Samoa Joe is here too. All right,
Samoa Joe's here too, and he's wrecking Roman Reigns. Yay!
Yeah, this was just a fun match on so many different levels. It was. You want to talk about a palate cleanser? This was the palate cleanser the rest of the night.
And
this
you
was
see
the best
that
possible way to end the show.
Yeah, and you see it's a problem when a palate cleanser is the last thing that you see that night. Because
it's like the dessert at the end of a relatively bland meal.
Because for me,
you may have to eat a whole plate full of Brussels sprouts, but hey, there's ice cream.
Yeah, and it's SummerSlam. Shouldn't be like that.
Yeah, it shouldn't have been like that. But again,
but if that's the way you're gonna, but if that's the way you're gonna go out, that's a pretty darn good way to go out.
Oh yeah, big time.
And it didn't hurt Braun. It didn't hurt anybody really. In the process of Brock Lesnar winning, because it showed them all for being the monsters. And legitimate tough guys that they actually are. Yes, I'm including Roman Reigns in that statement.
Hey, you're allowed.
But yeah, this match pretty much did everything right.
Mm-hmm. And again, it was a fantastic way to end the show. So before we close out, what's your overall score for SummerSlam?
The tag team wrestling and the main event are the only reason this gets a peach fuzz. Really, because this was disappointing as hell, man.
Yeah, I agree with you.
This was not a good event.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you. I'll match that Peach Fuzz. That's a 2 out of 5. Yeah. I'll match your 2 out of 5 too. If not just for the tag team wrestling, but also just the way that there's very, very strong ending to the match. Otherwise, the match was polluted with just poor finishes, poor match quality. It just wasn't nearly what a SummerSlam show should be.
And SummerSlam should not leave you going like, huh? What? What the hell is happening?
Yeah, I was actually
What's going on?
I was actually thinking about this on the way back home from work today. I had the same emotional reaction to SummerSlam that I do when I get a Christmas present from my grandma and then all I get is socks inside. I was like, oh boy. Yeah, we were all there. We were all there.
And when SummerSlam this year is worse than SummerSlam last year, SummerSlam last year was not good. Okay, and this year it was worse. The one thing I can say for WrestleMania is it actually improved on WrestleMania last year.
That it did.
The only thing that is keeping this from being worst pay-per-view of the year, it's definitely most disappointing for me, but Battleground, dude. Oh, that's it.
Prove us wrong, WWE, please.
But this was not good work. I'm sorry. Big ups to the tag team division and the 4 big men in the title picture on Raw, because without you, this card would have been dead in the water, man.
Mm-hmm. So that's it. You've heard our opinion. Now we turn it over to you, the rest of the Scholars community. Let us know what you think. Leave us a comment in the comments below. Did you like SummerSlam? Do you think it was a big steamy pile? Let us know. Drop us a line in the comments below. Give us a thumbs up if you like what you hear. Subscribe if you want to hear more every single week. You can also check us out on the Facebook page. Just run a search for the Scholars of Wrestling Show. And for extra fun, you can also check us out on our favorite platform, Twitter. You can follow us on our main page at ScholarsOW for all the latest episode uploads. And for running commentaries like the ones we did for SummerSlam, you can also check us out on our private Twitter accounts, starting with the missing scholar, Scholar Tarek, who can be found at the Avataric. Brian, where can I find you?
You can find me at Atomic Beanpole.
And you can find me at I'm Robbie Rage. Check us out, join the conversation, be a part of the Scholars community. Let us know what you think. It's fun. Boom. So anyway, that wraps up another episode of the Scholars of Wrestling Show. Any parting words for the people?
Just so you know, NXT TakeOver, as it normally is, was better. Okay. Very good debut. Very exciting debuts from Adam Cole.
Bebe.
And
Red Dragon.
Red Dragon. Not really a debut, but they getting the band together is all good. And congratulations for and go out to Drew McIntyre and Sanity.
Oh yeah, big time. That was a really fun show. But then again, it's TakeOver. You already knew that. Just like you know who we are. We're the Scholars of Wrestling, and you have just been schooled. You're welcome. See you on the road to the next big show, pay-per-view, whatever.
See you when I'm not watching SummerSlam ever again.
Bye-bye.